989% increase to the CEO, almost 1,000% raise in 1 year. The workers are asking for not even as much as the CEO makes in 1 year.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
We're going to give you some updates on the GE strike by the UAW in Kentucky and Ohio. We talked to you about it last week, how workers are striking in particular because the company wants to significantly increase their healthcare premiums. And after they went on strike, the company is now going around saying that, oh, well, we made an offer and the union's not letting the workers vote on it. The UAW strongly contests that in their update on the 4th of September. They said that the company is trying to tell the membership that they proposed a 3-year deal. And actually, we got a clip where the local president responds to that claim specifically. So let's play clip 3, where the UAW Local 647 president responds to this specific claim from the company.
Hey guys, Brian Strunk here, Local 647 president. I just got home from a long day out there on the strike line and talking to people. But I wanted to directly address something that's very important. The company right now is under a lot of pressure from our strike. Public opinion is with us. The company is under pressure from the media. We've have a lot of politicians on our side, and they understand what we are fighting for. So the company is resorting to mistruths. The company says they gave the union a final offer to vote on. That is 100% untrue, not even close to being the truth. So to clear things up, the company never put a deal on the table for us to vote on, period. There was nothing to vote on. The union was decided to put together a deal and presented it to the company at the table, which we have shared to our membership. We put it out there so you guys can see it. We communicated to the company that we expected them to counter that proposal. And we would try to come to a deal. We were trying to bargain in good faith. So instead, the company waited the night of our expiration to about 9:30. They walked back into the room and they simply said, the company has no counter. Have a good evening. And the company never passed a full final offer at all. They just left the room. So that is one reason why the Facebook Live event kept getting delayed over and over again, because even after the company just recklessly left the room and left us sitting there, we were continually trying to bargain in good faith, trying to get a deal for our membership. But the company just refused to give us any sort of counter whatsoever and never gave us anything to vote on, nothing to bring back to you guys.
So there you go. They released another update yesterday on the 5th of September, saying, today we had a small table meeting with the company and agreed on some ground rules around getting back to the table. The company at first made it seem like we would resume bargaining tomorrow, that is Saturday the 6th of September. We have made it clear, the union, that we are willing to meet at any time, any day, and we're willing to sit at the table now. The company came back to us and informed us that they are not able to meet this weekend, but are fully committed to resume bargaining this upcoming Tuesday. We understand that the company is demanding that the IAM return to work next week. It sounds like the Machinists Union was respecting the picket line, which is really cool. IAM leadership must meet the obligations of their contract and return to work. The gratitude we have for our brothers and sisters in the IAM must not be understated. Honoring our picket line as long as they legally could is what solidarity looks like. Thank you. Your committee is working to get a deal to bring back to the membership. And that's the last strike update that the UAW local posted on their website. Shawn Fain went on CNBC to talk about the strike, and he really, really did a great job, I think. And so we've got this clip of him on CNBC talking about the strike. Let's play clip 2.
Today is day 8 of a strike involving more than 600 United Auto Worker employees at GE Aerospace facilities in Ohio. In a statement to Squawk Box, a GE Aerospace spokesman said that the company is proud of the offer that it gave to employees and, in its words, are disappointed that the Detroit-based UAW leaders have decided to strike before our employees have had an opportunity to vote. We remain focused on serving our customers through our detailed contingency plans that ensure continued operations with the highest level of safety and quality.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
Just to pause on that for a second, you know, they mentioned the UAW wasn't allowing the workers to vote on the contract. We just heard the local president respond directly to that lie, so we can continue.
Joining us right now is United Auto Workers President Shawn Fain. And Shawn, in the lead up to this, we said that you have said that GE Aerospace is the epitome of everything that's wrong with this country. Do you want to explain? By the way, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be here again. And look, you know, what GE is doing is financially reckless not to settle this strike. And I'll go a little bit more into detail if you'll give me a minute. But to say that they're proud of a deal like this or their offer on the table, you know, all of the union's proposals combined would cost about $75 million for a 5-year deal. You know, let's talk numbers here. GE made $17 billion in profits over the last 3 years. And in 2020, from 2022 to 2024, our deal would be less than 1% of their 2024 profits alone. And, workers.
Let's just pause that for a second and just let that sink in. If the company gave the union every single thing that they were asking for, everything that they're asking for at this point, it would cost 1% of 1 year's profits. And remember, everything that the union is asking for, all of the increased wages and benefits and everything like that, that is over the course of a 4-year contract. Okay, so the union is asking for the equivalent of 1% of 1 year's profits by GE Aerospace, and GE Aerospace is refusing to honor their workers with that investment. Really, folks need to let that sink in. Let's continue.
All they're asking for is their fair share of the profits that their work generates. And you talk about $17 billion in profit. Of that $17 billion, they paid out over that same time frame $16.3 billion to shareholders in dividends and buybacks. They $2.2 billion in this first quarter alone this year. And
okay, just pause it just for a second again. $2.2 billion in stock buybacks and dividends in 3 months. And they're asking for $75 million over 4 years. They dropped $2.2 billion on people who owned part of the company in 3 months. And the workers are asking for 75. I mean, the more that I ingest this information, the more that I'm like, wow, they should ask for more, it sounds like. I mean, I don't know exactly, maybe it's like a relatively small unit of GE Aerospace, potentially, and maybe that's why. But still, that's just an insane thing to think about. $75 million is a fraction of how much money this company has given to shareholders just in the last 3 months. Let's continue.
Got a 985% increase to $89 million. Now, workers want to know.
Okay, yeah, let's pause there for a second. 989% increase to the CEO, to the compensation package of the CEO, almost 1,000% raise in 1 year for the CEO. And again, the workers are asking for not even as much as the CEO makes in 1 year. I mean, you really, really very moderate proposals here from the UAW.
One thing, they want to know that they'll have a job tomorrow and that they're able to afford health care. So over this same time frame when they've done all this, this company, with what they want to say they're proud of their offer, they want to increase the health care premiums of these workers by 18%. And the sad reality is this. It would cost $4 million, they could eliminate the health care premiums for all of these workers who work so hard to generate these massive profits. And so, I look at it this way. GE is recklessly putting this business in jeopardy. Half of GE Aerospace's business is servicing engines they've already sold. And the Erlanger facility, which is on strike, is the single point of failure in shipping all these critical parts. So I challenge anyone to look me in the eye and tell me that GE can't afford $4 million to eliminate healthcare premiums when they can pay $16.3 billion in dividends and buybacks, $2.2 billion this quarter alone, and then have the audacity to demand an 18% increase in premiums. And sadly, their lead negotiator, who by the way is also from Detroit, he couldn't look us in the eye and tell us that.
Hey, Shawn, let me just walk through what a company offer summary has laid out. They say that they proposed a 3-year agreement with the UAW that sets a general wage increase over the 3 years that totals 12%, a 5% increase effective in September of this year, a 4% increase September of next year, 3% after that. They also say that the two other union represented employee groups have already ratified new contracts earlier this summer, and they want to know why you haven't taken this to a vote to the union membership.
So, first off, the union members elect a bargaining committee to represent them at the bargaining table. So, it's not Detroit-based people bargaining for them. It's their own members right from the shop floor that bargain for them. We're there to help them in the process. We give them the resources they need. So that's the first thing to be clear about. And they elect these bargaining committee to represent their interests at the bargaining table. That's what they're doing. Second, I'm not really concerned about what other unions have done. This is a UAW agreement, and again, we're focused on the massive profits that our work has generated. And like I said, it's completely, when you talk about a 12% wage increase, what they're not saying is they want to increase their health insurance premiums by 18%. So in reality, everything you're getting in wage increases is going to be eliminated by increases in healthcare.
Really crazy stuff by GE, but GE really, as listeners of this program will know, sort of pioneered the corporatism in the neoliberal age among companies. Really a destructive company. What was the name of the CEO? Jack something? I can't remember. But we talked to Jack Welch. We talked to Chris Townsend about Jack Welch. So you can go back and find that video about his destructive impact on the American economy and corporations in the country. So definitely check that out, and it'll give you a little bit more insight into what's going on here. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.